AITA for laughing at my dad's midlife crisis and my mom's glow-up? I'm 21 female, still figuring things out. Read, working a soul-crushing retail job while living at parents' home. And I thought my biggest problem was deciding between ramen or mac and cheese for dinner. Turns out my family life is more messed up than a contestant on Love Island after too many cocktails. So the other day, I came home early from work. Anyway, I walk in, and I hear voices coming from the living room. No big deal, right? Except, it wasn't just my mom. It was a man. A man who definitely wasn't my dad. Now my parents have been together since forever. Think high school sweethearts, matching sweaters at Christmas, the whole 9 yards. My dad, bless his heart, is the epitome of dad bod. Receding hairline, cargo shorts enthusiast, not exactly Brad Pitt. My mom, on the other hand, is still a total knockout. She's always been beautiful. She's gorgeous. Like, stop traffic gorgeous. She's always taken care of herself. She's smart, funny, but she downplayed it, you know? Sensible cardigans, practical flats, the whole stay-at-home mom look. They've been married for 25 years, and honestly, I thought they were happy, or at least content. Apparently, I was wrong. So naturally, my brain immediately jumped to the worst possible conclusion. My mom was cheating. Cue the dramatic inner monologue. My entire worldview was crumbling. Was this why she'd been acting different lately? More confident? Dare I say, flirty? I was about to burst through the door, ready to unleash the fury of a betrayed daughter, when I heard my mom's voice, clear as a bell. I peeked through the crack in the door, and there he was. Tall, silver hair, perfectly coiffed, designer blazer. Basically, the anti-dad. Just imagine the combination between Pedro Pascal and Mads Mikkelsen. And my mom? She was practically glowing. She'd dressing up and wear makeup. They were holding hands. Hand-holding. In our living room. I was about to have a full-blown meltdown when my mom spotted me. Her eyes widened, but calm. She excused herself from Richard, who gave me a polite, if slightly confused, nod, and dragged me into the kitchen. I braced myself for the worst. Divorce? Secret second family? Turns out the truth was even weirder. She told me in a tearful, rambling monologue that my dad wanted an open relationship. I stared at her, blinking. An open... what? Apparently Dad, in his infinite wisdom, decided that their marriage was stale and that Mom was boring. He threatened to divorce her if she didn't agree to explore other options. Yes, he actually used those words. My mom, devastated, agreed, thinking it would save their marriage. She was convinced no one would ever want her, that she was past her prime. Oh, how wrong she was. Enter Richard. Richard, as it turns out, is a successful architect, a genuinely kind human being, and, wait for it, a friend of my dad's. He was my dad's friend from college. The irony is thicker than Dad's beer belly. Mom explained that she was hesitant at first, terrified even, but Richard treated her like a queen. He took her to fancy restaurants, listened to her talk about her book club, and made her feel alive. She actually enjoyed herself. And honestly, seeing her now, she looks 10 years younger. She's traded the sensible cardigans for stylish dresses and the flats for heels. It's like she's been reborn. They've been doing this open marriage thing for about a year now, and I'm only just finding out. Apparently, Dad was going to tell me, but he didn't know how. Translation: he was probably too embarrassed. Which brings me to the present. The whole situation is just bizarre. My dad is running around thinking he's some kind of dating guru, while Mom is living her best life with a man who actually appreciates her. It's like a twisted rom-com where everyone's motivations are completely messed up. And the worst part? I can't stop laughing. The other night, Dad actually tried to confide in me about his dating life. He was complaining about how shallow women are and how they only want him for his money. He was going on and on about this one woman who kept hinting at wanting a new car, a Birkin, or some designer's clothes. I accidentally snorted, like a loud, involuntary snort. He stopped mid-sentence, looking offended. What's so funny? I covered my mouth, trying to compose myself. Nothing, just allergies. But inside, I was screaming. He has absolutely no self-awareness. He thinks he's some kind of irresistible catch, when in reality, he's just a balding, slightly overweight guy with a questionable fashion sense. Meanwhile, my mom is out there dating a goddamn architect. He went on to describe this woman he was seeing. She sounds utterly dull. Apparently, her idea of a fun date is watching documentaries about the history of cheese. Cheese. My mom is getting wined and dined at Michelin-starred restaurants, and my dad is talking curd with some lactose enthusiast. I feel terrible for laughing, I really do. But the absurdity of it all is just too much. The other day, I actually overheard him complaining to my mom about how lonely he was. "These women just aren't you," he whined. My mom, bless her heart, just patted his hand and said, "Well, dear, you did want to explore other options." I swear, I almost choked on my water. And here's the thing. I think Dad is starting to realize he messed up. He's seen how happy Mom is, how much attention she's been getting. He's starting to understand that maybe, just maybe, he took her for granted. He even hinted the other day that maybe they should reconsider the open relationship. But Mom just smiled sweetly and said, "Now, dear, we wouldn't want to stifle your personal growth, would we?" So, here's my question. AITA for finding this whole situation hilarious? Should I feel guilty for laughing at my dad's misery while secretly cheering on my mom's glow-up? And more importantly, how do I navigate family dinners without bursting into uncontrollable laughter? Also, any tips on how to politely tell my dad that his dating profile picture is terrible? Seriously, the one with the Hawaiian shirt and the thumbs up needs to go.